Hi, I'm here today with Phil Yaeger. He is a CPA and an MBA and a PhD and a CGMA. He's got loads of experience. Thank you, Phil, for meeting with me today.
How are you? You're very welcome. You know, I got that CGMA, don't you?
No, I do not. Please tell me.
They came out with that designation, Certified Government Managerial Accountant. And what they did was, if you sent them a check for $300, they would give you the degree.
That easy, huh?
Yeah, that easy. All right. So, in other words,
was it the same with the PhD?
No, it didn't work that way. I wish it did, though. But no, it's now there's a test, but not. I don't know how many people really take that CGMA test. I would say don't waste your time. Get a. You know, I was at one point I was doing financial planning, so I took the CFP exam. And I used that, and that was very helpful because I was in financial planning. But, you know, I wouldn't waste my time, this is my opinion, with the CGMA.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. All right, so first question is it worth it to pursue an accounting degree today, you think?
I majored in accounting, and I hated it because my mother said, if you don't major in accounting, we're not going to pay for your tuition. So I said, okay. So I majored in accounting, and I got out of it, and I tried to get every other job but accounting. And eventually I got older, you get more mature, that type of thing. And also, I was dealing with Vietnam War, and I took a job in accounting because I had to get a job so that, you know, I had a wife already, I didn't have any children, but I had to earn money. That's really what it came down to. And is it, basically, is it a good, now if I look at it 50 years later, all right, it was probably the best thing I could have done, because what it's done is it allowed me to start the review course. It is actually, I got into college teaching. I love teaching college, all right, because I wasn't the typical accounting professor, if you want to say, the dull person. The students always used to say that, you know, you're funny, that type of thing. And the other reason is it gave me a degree, a designation, all right, where the school did very well, all right, and I made enough money to send my daughter to college, my grandchildren to college, all right, and from that aspect, and overall, I did consulting also. You can always do other things, but it's not a boring profession, because a lot of people, what they're doing is they're going for the CPAs and they're going more into consulting now. You know, that's a big area. So it's not just debits and credits. That's not what accounting is. All right. So I would say there's other areas you can go into if you get the CPA. And as they say in the accounting profession, accounting is the language of business, right? You've heard that.
Of course, yeah. It's the cliche.
Well, why did you get a CPA?
Actually, that reason. I wanted to understand how businesses work from the inside out. I always looked at corporations as these big evil entities, and then I learned how they work from the accounting standpoint. I was like, oh, it's just like a function of economics and transactions. So,
see, as I said, the thing with the CPA is I got the CPA because I came to Maryland to be sort of head of an accounting program at Anne Arundel Community College, which is a community college here in Maryland, Anne Arundel County. So they made me director of the program, but I didn't have the CPA. So I figured, how does it look to be director of the accounting program, not have the CPA? Sure. So I took the exam. I didn't pass the first time. It's not that easy an exam. Back then, 2-3 times maybe. But I'm glad I got it, because once I got it, then I moved on, and I decided, I really like college teaching. That's really what I enjoyed. All right,
and that's why you got your PhD, right?
I got a PhD. But you know what? Having a PhD doesn't make me a better accountant or a better teacher than anybody who doesn't have it. It's what the profession looks at it, all right? And they say, oh, you got to have that PhD, all right, so that you can show you really are an expert in accounting. That's baloney. What I did was, all right, what is an expert in accounting, all right? Maybe here's a guy with a PhD, here's a guy without a PhD, and the one without the PhD maybe knows more than the one with the PhD. So it's not necessarily an indication of that you're brighter or not brighter compared to other people who don't have it or have it. So, but I got the PhD. I had my CFP for a while, Certified Financial Planner. I had to give it up because I couldn't keep up with all the continuing education requirements of every designation. But I really enjoyed financial planning because I got to talk to people. I like something where you're talking to people.
Yeah, you're great at talking with people.
Well, thank you. And I did consulting also. I had a tax practice. And I like taxes because it's like a puzzle. People come to you and they say, gee, we don't want to pay that much in taxes. We're getting hit with so much taxes because we earn too much money. All right, if you earn so much money, just pay the taxes. That's really it. But the thing is, all right, I like that because it was like a puzzle. People would come to you and say, Phil, how can I reduce my tax liability? All right, I would sit down with them for an hour and I'd go over it. And this is what I did every tax season. I sat down with the client for an hour, went over what they should do, and some of them listened to me, some didn't. But the point was I got to speak to people. That's what it is. So accounting isn't just sitting, in the corner, all right, doing debits and credits, all right. There's so many different areas now to go into: consulting, financial planning, taxes, all right. You have so many options. So no, I think it's a definite profession, all right. When you think about a profession, if you major in finance, all right, that's to me not a profession so much. Accountants are a profession, doctors, lawyers, accountants. So I think it's a good area, and there's a shortage of accountants.
There is a shortage, and hopefully we can convince a few people to check out accounting as a potential major.
It's hard to convince an 18-year-old who's in high school, hey, go into accounting and hey, you can make, you'll do very well financially, you'll never have to worry about making a living, that type of thing. They sometimes have a lot of trouble understanding that.
I think one thing is that there's a lot of people who think they're overworked and underpaid. It has a reputation, sort of.
Are they overworked? Yeah, they are overworked. Didn't you find, how many hours did you work?
About 60, so it wasn't too bad. 50 to 60.
But, they don't pay you overtime. Did you get paid overtime?
No.
See, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you can go work in something else and get paid straight time or whatever, and you're doing better. But you got to look at the big picture in the future, not now. Maybe now you're not getting the overtime, all right? But in the future, you'll have all this knowledge, all right, that you can charge more for your knowledge. And yeah, you can move up the corporate ladder. If you look at, in the corporate, tell me if I'm wrong on this. If you want to be a chief financial officer of a corporation, most of them are CPAs.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
I think they are, yeah.
So it's hard to say, what do you want to do when you grow up? It really is. It's hard.
Very hard.
But you should explore your options. And just remember, be realistic, all right? The more you make, the better you can live, all right? I'm not saying you'll have better mental health, but, you'll feel better about yourself. You'll have things that you couldn't have if you weren't certified, all right? Let's face it, it's what we are a materialistic society, all right? And, the big thing is now incomes are going up, all right? And your income will go up if you have something someone wants to buy, all right, your knowledge, all right? And that's the thing with the CPA. And I've learned so much over the years by having a CPA.
And your profession for almost 40 years was sharing that knowledge as an instructor for Yaeger CPA.
There were two things, yes. I was preparing people for the CPA exam, all right? And secondly, I taught college, and I like teaching college because a lot of these college teachers are, the students would say, Phil, you're really not boring like the rest of them, I really enjoy coming to class. You make me laugh. And that's what I want to do. I want to be different than a lot of these other college professors. So yeah, I got to talk to the students. In the CPA review class, this was interesting. I must have had, it was a 4 or 5 month course. People got married, and they met in the class.
Wow, that's
all right?
cool.
And they invited me to their weddings.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Wow. Did you always want to be an accountant? Oh, you said that you didn't want really to go into accounting, but your parents had said you should pursue this.
My parents said accounting is a profession, all right? If you go major in, I guess, finance, all right, what's the profession? Finance?
Yeah.
So, but I just went ahead and continued with accounting. Am I sorry I did it? No. Maybe if you asked me 40 years ago if I was sorry, I'd say, yeah, I was sorry I did it. But now I've had 40, 50 years of experience. I've had different jobs. I met so many different people. All right. The question is, what is that worth to you? To me, I just enjoyed I enjoy people. That's the thing. If you enjoy people, accounting is a good profession to go into.
Sort of counterintuitive, right? You think
Definitely.
it's all about calculators and spreadsheets, but it's
oh yeah. Well, there was this guy who's a competitor of mine, CPA review course, okay, and he said we're going to promote this. There was a TV show on with Jerry Seinfeld,
drinking coffee in cars,
right,
or with comedians.
So he said, we're going to promote something. So he had all these cameras. He put them in the car, and what it was is we called it accountants, right, driving around in cars, drinking coffee, looking for calculators.
That was I love it. That's great. Yeah. Oh man, I'm filing that one away for potential.
It was a lot of fun. We did it.
Could you talk about the future of accounting? Where do you see accounting going? And this could also tie into AI if you think that'll have an effect.
Well, where's accounting going to go?
Yeah. Or where has it gone even? I mean, you've been in this profession for a long time.
Well, now it's become, the one thing as far as hurting me, it's become very technological, okay? And, we didn't get that technology background in college. So, we just, making a phone call on was, before I knew how to work a phone, it was very hard to do because we weren't trained in technology. So, but I don't think it's going to drive everyone out. If you take this artificial intelligence now, all right, they're going to do a lot of the grunt work. Maybe add up columns. That's what the artificial intelligence. So that will actually save the accountants today who are doing that manually, having some type of computer do it. All right, how many people want to add up columns and all that? All right, so what? I don't think
you have to do higher level work.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the accountants doing the higher level work. They'll be doing. They'll still be doing the consulting because if you come to me with tax questions, okay, all right, I'm going to have to feed it into some type of program, all right, and it'll do calculations for me, that type of thing, all right. And also, I've been looking at this
ChatGPT.
You ever?
I use it every day. I love it. Yeah, writes all my emails. Not all of them.
Actually, I think it's Northern Arizona, University of Northern Arizona, all right, they've worked out a deal with
GPT.
All right, that the students can use their program to write papers, that type of thing.
Wow, okay.
Is it plagiarizing anything? What's your opinion on that?
It takes information that's already out there and aggregates it, compiles it. Whether it's plagiarizing, I think, depends on what was fed into it. I think that there's been some allegations where books and papers were fed into it that were not in the public domain, and I think
did you get that? Did you see that letter?
Which letter?
AICPA said they don't want you to use chat if you're going to sell it in the public domain. all right? You can still use it. And actually, probably what most people are not thinking about, okay, is that can make up great questions for you when you're studying for the exam. Just say, all right, I'm covering cybersecurity, all right? And you say, give me a series of 10 questions on cybersecurity concerning this thing, and give me explanations and all that, all right? You get some good questions out of it.
Oh, yeah, that's worth knowing. Yeah, that's
I gotta believe someone is making up questions with Chat GPT.
You were talking about the exam briefly. Could you go into the new exam a little bit? I don't know if you still are going to teach courses on that.
Yeah, we're making up,
Yaeger?
actually, we're almost done with the new books and materials. It has taken us longer, all right? And that's because the other courses didn't really change it that much. That's the whole thing, all right? We actually followed, do you know what the blueprints are?
Yeah, I do. Put out by AICPA?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We took the new blueprints and we put them, in various computer programs, all right? And they gave us information that we could say, this is what they are only going to test the blueprints on the exam. So if you can give them this, the information about what the blueprints are saying, all right, you shouldn't have any problem going into and taking the exam. Now, what's the difference? All right, first of all, they got rid of the BEC part of the exam. Okay, that was one thing. There's no more BEC part.
And now it's called Evolve.
It's
or
the
evolution. CPA evolution.
Yeah, CPA evolution.
Okay.
All right, and there's core subjects. You have your core subjects. There's financial, auditing, and regulation. Okay, BEC is gone. Now there is a series of specializations. All right, and you have to pass one specialization. So you're still taking 4 parts because you're taking your financial, you're taking your regulation, you're taking your auditing, okay? All right, because you have to take one of these specializations, which is called BAR, one of them is the BAR, that's business analysis and reporting, okay? Another part is called tax compliance, all right? And the third part, and it's slipping my mind what it is, tax compliance, it's
data analysis,
information technology, okay? But people are having trouble with that. If you read, I go to these forums and they read and they say, took the exam and now it's so complicated, and that's the new areas. So what are they going to do? What do you think they're going to do, the AICPA? You think they're going to fail everybody? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think it's a secret. Everybody wants to know how they grade because they say they don't use a curve.
I can tell you how they grade.
Yeah? I would love to know.
I can tell you how they graded the exam until they just changed it, but I don't think it's changed really.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I actually had a conversation with the director of examinations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mike Decker at one time. Oh. It's like, do you play golf?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. When you play golf, you usually play 4 rounds of golf, all right? And then if you don't get a certain par score, all right, by Friday, usually it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you don't get a certain score by the end of, say, Friday or Thursday, okay, all right, they cut you from the tournament, all right?
And these are questions.
And this is what they do, all right? If you don't get a certain cut score, all right, for example, it might be, and this is the whole secret, we don't know what the cut score is, all right? They're going to grade the exam, all right? It'll be on some type of curve, all right? But if the cut score is, say, 65, if you don't get a 65, then you're cut from the rest of the exam, all right? And you're not up there with the possibility of people who do pass with some type of curve. They don't call it a curve, it's a cut score. That's what it is.
Okay, all right, interesting, yeah. Mystery
This
solved.
is actually the time to take the exam because of the, it's all new material, all right? And just remember, they're not going to fail everybody.
They can't, right?
No.
Yeah. But they have to fail some people because they want you.
Oh yeah,
they want you to pay again, right?
I would
another $250. Can you tell I'm bitter?
Yeah, are you bitter about that?
Just a bit, just a bit.
How did you study for the exam?
I used.
You don't have to mention anybody.
No, I used Becker. I use Becker, and then I found
Becker. I think I heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of the giant corporation.
They are.
But actually, I had.
Did you look into different courses? That's the one thing.
No, I don't know why I chose. I
Did your
think it was just
company-
because they were the standard, right? And then I found Farhat, and Farhat really helped. I actually had heard of you. To be honest, I probably should have given you a try. I think I would have enjoyed your material. I was just, I don't know, I was sort of like trying to stay in my lane. There's all these different options out there.
Yeah, because our competitors are really, I call them.
Roger, sorry to interrupt. Roger was good too.
Roger's
His
good.
videos,
As long as
yeah.
there's Mountain Dew out there, he's fine.
And as long as there's Propel for you.
Propel? No, there's no caffeine in here.
Oh, okay. All right.
This actually, I drink a lot of Propel, and I was telling Andy here that when I used to teach the course live, all right, I would stand up at a podium, and I would go back and forth, and I was very animated. Not like Roger. Roger's animated because he drinks Mountain Dew. If I drank Mountain Dew, I'd be animated too.
He's got 200 milligrams of caffeine running through
Oh,
his
God.
veins.
But people would always say, take Phil Yaeger. Phil is the cure for insomnia.
I actually enjoyed your videos. I watched a couple.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
But
I did like 'em.
hey, you passed. It makes it. Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Yeah, and that's
I
all that
did.
counts.
I
Yeah.
did.
I mean, I have my feelings about certain courses, and they're competitors. So I'm going to say, of course, if I'm stupid, I'll say our course is the worst course. Okay, but no, we just. I think the one thing that I believe in is giving service. You can reach me. You can call me 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. All right, I answer my cell phone.
And for those of you who haven't noticed, I am actually sitting on set right now. This is the actual board and the actual table.
This is NBC.
Almost.
By the way, I just wanted to let you know, you're talking about what did the CPA do? Okay. It enabled me to give back as far as, and I'll tell you
Sure.
what I mean by that. I give money to charities now. And there's one organization called Charity Buzz. And you bid on something. So I bid on, I got to meet, I don't know if you know Willie Geist. Does that sound familiar? He's on Sunday morning.
Vaguely.
Okay. Hoda Copy from Today's Show.
I don't watch. I don't have cable.
You don't have a TV?
No. I use the
You're black and
computer.
white TV?
No, I Netflix, internet.
No,
streaming.
but anyway, I also got to meet Olivia Newton-John
Oh, I know her.
before she passed away.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
but the point was, all right, I contribute, and if you win the auction, you get to. I went to Vegas, sat in Olivia Newton-John's booth with her booth,
Nice.
and then
Oh.
we got to talk to her afterwards.
That's very cool. Yeah,
So,
nice. Good for you.
without being in this business, I wouldn't have the means to do things like that. And I'm not saying that's the only reason you do it, okay? All right? I give to charities. I give to, I believe in, I can't remember the name of the charity now.
Salvation Army, Goodwill, Red Cross.
ASPCA for
Oh,
dogs.
great.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that's
And,
great. Yeah.
And the dogs are very happy. They call me every once in a while. Thank me. No, there's the one that Danny Thomas. I can't. Marlo Thomas.
Wow.
What's the one they don't charge you if you go to the place? All right, you don't get out much, do you?
I don't give to charity. That's the problem.
Well, I guess charity begins at home.
I should. Charity begins at home.
But no, that's what I've enjoyed. Meeting these people.
That's great. So accounting has taken you places, and that's
Yeah.
inspiring.
Still alive to talk about it?
Which is good to.
Right.
It'd be hard to have this interview if you weren't. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, could you maybe talk about your Excel skills? Did you ever have to use Excel?
Well, I like to think that I have excelled, but no, I honestly don't know how to work with Excel. And this is what I talk about.
Yeah.
People our age, okay? Some of them know Excel, but we're not really up on the technology because, my granddaughter, my grandson, they can take a phone, they can do this, all right? They can program, they know Excel, all right? No, it's just we were brought up when there wasn't this technology. Now, I know how to use Chat GPT. GPT. ASPCA. Yeah. No,
Say that 10 times fast.
And, no, I know how to use that. But honestly, if you told me, God, your computer's having problems, I wouldn't even know where to help you.
But you are excellent.
Thank you very much. You're kissing up to me. Thank you very much.
How many computer monitors do you use? Maybe you don't, I don't even know if you sit in front of a computer.
No.
these days.
How many do I use?
Yeah,
for,
like, what does your workstation look like when you sit down? Maybe video editing, for example.
I don't do. I have someone who.
Oh,
does
you have
video.
someone who does that.
I have this gentleman who's he was a computer programmer, a computer information technology guy. He went to Towson State, all right, and his father's home air conditioning business. So Joe has been helping me tremendously because he knows the technology.
That's great. It's really nice that he does.
I say to people, if I need a plumber, okay, I'm not going to start learning plumbing, okay? That's why they have plumbers, all right? And they know their trade better than I would ever know it. So that's why I think,
So you're saying it's good to specialize in your thing. Riches lie in niches.
I'm not out to become a plumber. I'm not out to become an electrician, okay? I'm not handy. That's really what it comes down to.
Sure.
So, but what is it? I have a desktop computer, all right? And I know how to use my AOL, that type of stuff. I know enough.
AOL? You still use AOL?
AOL, yeah.
I didn't know that still existed.
You want to know what my email is?
Please.
phil.yaeger@aol.com.
No numbers.
I know.
Wow. Phil.
You don't use AOL? What do you use?
I use Gmail.
I use Gmail too, but I prefer.
I thought AOL went out of business or something. No, or didn't they get bought out?
Is that who started AOL?
Jeez, I don't remember. I know that there was Yahoo was big.
Yeah, they're all. These are companies early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still use AOL for my mail.
Very nice. Could you give some more advice to young people out there that might be watching this? Career advice, life advice, whatever you feel like saying.
First of all, go to college, explore certain areas. You must have come across things, all right, during your high school days, and that were of interest to you. Did you like computers? All right. Did you try programming? Now you're getting into more sophisticated, all right? But find an area you enjoy. Don't go into an area that your family says you should go into. Because remember, you have to do that for many, many years to come, all right? And if you start going, I guess the perfect example would be, I was told major in accounting, all right? Yeah. I didn't like accounting. I didn't like debits and credits. It wasn't of interest to me. But I saw other, I came to other, what's the expression?
Fork in the road?
Fork in the road, thank you. And the thing was, the fork in the road was, hey, I taught a class. I took a class that was teaching intermediate accounting, and I never taught before. So I did that, and I found I really liked that because I could make light, I could joke around about accounting, all right?
So and maybe you were a teacher, and then accountant secondary.
That's a good way of putting it. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's true. But the thing is, all right, just because you say I want to be an accountant, I want to be someone in computers, it doesn't mean you can't get out of that and go to something else. All right? You're not stuck in any one thing. But try to do. It's a shame that students go to college when they're 18, and a lot of times they have to pick their major by the third year, I think, right? All right. Well, that's an 18, 19-year-old. All right. They can't see the value of certain things. So they're going to pick something and they're going to hate it. All right. And the thing is, I think you have to remember, nothing is forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
You never know what road, you get back to that, you have a road you come to. One goes to the left, one goes to the right. All right, what do you pick? And the answer is, whatever you pick, it's not going to be a final decision. You can always do something else if that doesn't work out for you. All right? The employment market, there's a shortage of people. All right? I assume you listen to that, and they say there's a shortage of employment people. All right? And that's good for you, the employee, because when I got out, there was not a shortage of people. All right? There was a lot of people, and basically, if I picked an area and I wanted to go into marketing actually afterwards. All right? But the minute I went for a job for marketing, they would say, "Oh, no, you majored in accounting. We have a good accounting position." So I was always sort of
pigeonholed.
Yeah, and I couldn't get out. But, here it is, 50 some odd years later, all right? And I've had choices, all right? I don't hate life. I've enjoyed the opportunities I've had, and more importantly, I've gotten that's terrible English. I've got to meet a lot of nice people. My students, I have had so many great experiences with students, meeting them, and they thank me after they go through the course that I helped them pass. And that means a lot to me.
Sure.
I
really appreciate your time today, and it was amazing to have an opportunity to talk to you and get to know you and stuff. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that.